Hey guys, Brian from Boas here. Today on Meet My Boas, we're going to meet this guy. This is a Moonglow Boa that I call Apollo. And on these segments, I show you a specific boa and go into in-depth on its personality, behavior, care, and my experience with that boa. So please stay tuned if you want to hear more about Apollo, the Moonglow Boa. And so I know you guys are mostly locality fans with less morph people out there. But I really do enjoy my morph boas, even though most of my animals are locality boas. And one of my especially favorite morphs is the Moonglow. Moonglow is a 3-gene combo with Call albino and erythristic, both homozygous recessive in the recessive homozygous form. In other words, there's 2 copies of each of these recessive genes. And then we have the hypo gene as well. And hypo can be super or just regular 1-copy hypo because it's a incomplete dominant, and in this case this guy is just a 1-copy hypo. But the 3 genes together, you get this really light yellowish whitish color that almost looks like the glow of the moon, hence the term Moonglow. And there's also a form with the call or the sharp strain albino called the Snow Glow. It's basically the same thing, just a different strain of albino. There's also a VPI Snow Glow, which has a VPIT positive in place of the call. But the call Moonglows are the most common. And I really like them because they're just so visually striking. In fact, whenever I do a presentation on boas and I want to bring a morph boa, this is my first pick. Just because I take this guy out and people are just blown away. People that have never seen a morph boa, not even just a regular call albino, when they see a boa like this, they know it's something special. And it's, they don't forget a boa like this. In fact, I call him my poor man's leucocystic boa because back before the leucocystic pearl diamond boas, or princess diamond rather, princess diamond boas started to drop in price. They were thousands and thousands of dollars. And the Moonglow was a lot less expensive and pretty similar look overall. Although I think I prefer the Moonglow because it still has some pattern and it's got this beautiful yellowy vanilla color. Almost looks like vanilla pudding, or like a pudding pop from the 80s, and I'm a big 80s kid, so it makes me nostalgic of those vanilla pudding pops from the 80s. Maybe I should call him Pudding Pop. But Apollo is just a really cool, chill boa. He's great for taking to crowds, taking to presentations. The kids love him. They just all want to pet this guy because he's so cool to look at and so chill. I just love the eyes. The eyes are almost like this really pale color with this dark pupil and this really nice light pink tongue. This guy is pretty stocky. He's actually been putting on a little bit of weight because he's going to go into breeding pretty soon here, and he's going to not eat for a few months, probably about 3 months or so in the winter. And I wanted him to have a lot of reserves for breeding because he's going to be paired up probably in about a month and a half or so actually. And this guy bred for me last year. I paired him with my hypo IMG boa. It was kind of noteworthy because this is my lightest boa. My hypo IMG female is my darkest boa, so it was definitely ebony and ivory. And they made a really nice litter. And I knew that my IMG was het for call, which is why I paired her with this guy. But it turned out she was also het for anery. So I ended up getting lots of really cool combos, including IMG Moonglows. And I got all the other types of combos you can get when you cross a hypo IMG tet for call and anery with a Moonglow, which is a really good combination. I'm actually planning on pairing this guy up again with my hypo IMG double het female, and hopefully we'll get another really nice litter with those different combos, including IMG Moonglows. And so this guy overall, pretty chill boa. I mean, they basically are Colombian boas, just with a different paint job. They're not necessarily pure or locality specific Colombian boa, but most of the genes in this animal, most of the background comes from Colombian boa. So overall, they have a similar size and similar temperament. They have quite a stocky body, very muscular, Pretty chill overall, but definitely a big, thick, good sized boa constrictor. I'd say this guy is probably pushing about 7 feet or so. So if you want a really cool pet boa constrictor with a really unique look, a Moonglow might be the boa for you. And since the price has been coming down quite a bit in the last 10 years or so, they have never been more affordable than now. And so, as is the custom with these Meet My Boa videos, now I'm going to show you guys a couple of the babies that this guy sired in the 2024 breeding season. First off, we have an IMG Snow, possible Moonglow, that the guy sired in 2024. This one is about a little over a year old now. Nice female. And I thought she was a Moonglow. I'm not 100% sure though. She may be a Snow. The Snow just doesn't have the hypo. I know she's IMG because the IMG has a specific pattern. When you look at the pattern, you see these little dots that are getting kind of bigger and bigger with every shed. And that's the area that's normally the increasing melanin, but because this animal has no melanin, it becomes increasing whiteness. And so people will breed IMGs into albinos to increase the areas that don't have any melanin, if that makes any sense. And because this one is an IMG, it also has an effect on the saddles. And that's one of the main ways you can tell a hypo from a non-hypo, the shape of the saddle. So it gets a little bit confusing. So this one might be an IMG Moonglow, it might be an IMG Snow. Whatever it is, it's a really beautiful animal. And looks like her dad. And she'll probably get cleaner with time because of that IMG. Here's another offspring sired by Apollo. This is an IMG, straight IMG. It's actually het for albino and for Anery, of course, because Apollo was the dad. But no other visuals other than IMG. Look how dark this female is. She's only a little over a year old, and she's already on the way to probably pure black. Her mother is a hypo IMG. Her mother is nearly pure black. Not quite though. You can see I'm holding her at arm's length because she's a little bit feisty like her mother. But hopefully she'll behave for this video. I want to keep her away from my face, of course. But beautiful, beautiful dark boa. This one actually was for sale for a while. And then I saw how dark she was getting and I'm just like, there's no way I can let this boa go. And really happy that I held on to her because just a breathtaking example of an IMG boa. Look at that darkness. You can see she still has some tail saddles there. Not sure how long those will last. These IMGs get darker with every shed, increasing melanin gene. I'm going to put her back in a sec here. But really cool example of an IMG boa that was sired by my Moonglow Apollo. Okay, one more baby that Apollo sired is this one, and he's really grumpy, so I'll make it quick. But this is an Anery IMG. And Anery IMG is said to be one of the darkest morphs. Although I would have to say I think his sister, the straight IMG, is actually darker. But what I love about this guy is he's got this beautiful black and white look to him. Just look at the white and how much contrast there is with the black. He's normally not this pissy, for lack of a better word. But hopefully he doesn't know what to bite. He thinks my hand is a tree. He's not going to bite the tree. So as long as I'm perfectly calm, I'm not going to lose any blood today. But really cool animal. I wish he would hold better still so you could see him. But I'm going to stick him back in a sec here because I'm really pushing my luck. You can just see how beautiful he is. And he's normally in a better mood than this. Anyway, alright, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed looking at these boas. Let me know if you have any questions and enjoy your boas.